Heidi ho, ha ha ha. Yeah, that was my good guy impression from Child's Play. I mean, I kind of been binge watching Child's Play stuff recently. Probably my favourite 80s slasher villain so far now, currently. Um, behind Freddy Krueger. But anyway, let's get to it. How do? As I said, Heidi Her, similar thing. Um, so yeah, this is the penultimate episode of this week's Fun Facts of Liam, and yeah, food based, blah blah blah. I'm sure you all know the drill now. Well, the gist of this week by now. Those of you that have seen it, by the time you do see it, and blah blah blah. Time is relative and individual. Well, not individual, but who knows. But anyway, so seeing this has been kind of wintry and kind of just post Christmas. And partly why I've done this kind of the theme of this week's episodes with food. It was like a test of willpower to not binge eat things and spend money and shit. It's not that I'm poor. It's just that I'm trying to be just good in general. More is more, basically, in the words of Ben and Jerry's. And speaking of beloved American meals and snack foods, this one is about chicken nuggets. And they actually started out as, just like how, I guess, comparatively, over at this side of the pond, Spam was a beloved, breakfast, lunch food, brunch food as well, I guess. You can combine the two. 11's kind of food over here for ages. It was imported from, basically from tinned, canned good stuff from like American GIs, and that became a popular tinned product for Britons during rationing days, but also the Americans were going through it as well, of course. And chicken nuggets, chicken was seen as the kind of affordable staple for people who still wanted to eat meat. So, but by the time rationing was wearing on for several years, people were getting kind of fed up of just having chicken on its own. So a professor named Robert C. Baker came up with the idea of chicken nuggets, and he tried all sorts of like recipes, putting bread with it, which is how he come up with just fried chicken in general. I think basically the American love of fried chicken, and of course eventually internationally the love of fried chicken in general, is thanks to Robert C. Baker's idea of making a cheap side staple food less grueling to eat, basically, because people rationing went on from 1945 to all the way to, I think, as late as, depending where you lived, and I don't think there was that much difference in years. I think it went all the way to 1953 at least. A little least. It might have been like 1954 when it officially stopped. At least in my neck of the woods. At least over my side of the pond, but I don't know. It's probably very similar in the States. But chicken nuggets were born from wanting for basically an idea to make ration based food more fun to eat, as it were. So then eventually that became a fast food in diners, KFC, McDonald's, by extension, chicken McNuggets, of course. So yeah, I suppose this is sort of little tangentially similar, that means vaguely related, to my previous episode, where I talked about, how attitudes to certain foods, go. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the penultimate episode of this week's Fun Facts with Liam. And I'll get to uploading this, and I do hope you'll check all of them out, of course. There's always that 1 or 2 or 15 loyal viewers, so, cheers for that. Cheers for all my subscribers, 100 so far. For some reason, it keeps dropping on and off. I keep getting 101, and then I keep getting 100. I don't know why. But anyway, that's for another whinge for another day. If it is a whinge. Maybe it's something I just pointed out. So anyway, I'll get to uploading this, and as Sergeant James Bird from Spyro says, cheerio!